Welcome to a new episode of I Know Jax, my absolute favorite local TV show. Today I want to talk to you about something really serious, having fun. Too many people drudge their way through the day without consciously having fun. Even worse, there are people that do have fun and for whatever reason don't share it with anyone. And to quote one of the great philosophers of our day, Snoop Dogg, "It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none." Or if you're not into rap, here's a rock reference from my buddy Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. "If you have a candle, the light won't glow any dimmer if I light yours off of mine." So what I'm trying to say is, have fun and share it. It's amazing how much easier and happier life is when you can share the fun. That is the whole purpose of I Know Jax. Just share the fun. It's simple. Inject more fun into your life and share it with someone. Spread the love. If that sounds like something you share with me, by all means, go to iknowjax.com. Sign up for the newsletter and of course, keep watching all the cool reports we do here on the show, like this one for example. So let's take a look at what happened in 2014. It was a busy year. We started out by visiting some of our local breweries. We went to Intuition, Bold City, and Aardwolf.
You're at Aardwolf Brewing, and you're watching I Know Jax.
We also visited the new kid on the block, Veterans United in 2014. There were so many fun events and festivals in 2014. There was one Spark downtown, and I Know Jax was there all week. We also spent a lot of time at the Players this year. Even country star Jake Owen plays golf.
Yes! Yes!
See that?
Yes!
Can I get a golf clap at least?
Yeah!
And speaking of music, how about Rockville? Wasn't that awesome? Rob Zombie Man. I also had a great time at the inaugural Beaches Oktoberfest. Now I managed to squeeze in a few sporting events. I went to the MMA event at the arena, the Jacksonville Sharks, and of course, the soccer match of the year. That was a big highlight for me. Then there was the big reveal of the video boards. That was pretty huge too. Now, I did a bunch of interviews and made a bunch of new friends. Now there were parties too. After all, this is I Know Jax. We had our 100th episode party at Taverna Llamas and a tequila tasting at Campeche Bay. And a Christmas party at the Dim Sum Room, just to mention a few. Another 3 years of I Know Jax. Cheers! Now for me, 2014 was also a big year for fashion because I proved I don't always wear a black shirt, but there was more fashion than just colorful shirts. Check out these super cool pants I wore to the Players. Check these bad boys out. Now as usual, there was plenty of good food. I even got to be a judge at the Gumbo Fest at the Landing this year. Now besides eating on camera, I also danced. What did the fox say? New people joined I Know Jax. Richard Miller started out doing the new I Know Jags story, and he taught us and the Jaguars players some new vocabulary.
2014.
So very Game of Thrones-esque, is that what you're going for?
Yes, exactly.
Later in the season, Marcel took over and did an awesome job for us. We also got production help from David Green. Ron Block came on the show a few times, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of him this spring. And of course, Chris Chislett and I will talk more about wine as well. We have huge plans for 2015. There will be lots of food, craft beer, wine, and of course, lots of fun. So make sure to tell your friends about I Know Jax. Now 2014 was a great year, but I think that 2015 is gonna be even better. Thank you all for being a part of it.
Well, it's January, which unfortunately means the Jaguars are preparing for the offseason instead of the postseason. It's been a long, grueling season for fans and the team. As a matter of fact, the Jaguars finished 3-13, just one win short of their win total last year. But there were some bright spots. We saw what may be the quarterback of the future in Blake Bortles, and they won more games at home this year, including a nationally televised game on Thursday night.
It was big. It was big, having the fans here, having the opportunity to end on the win, our last home game with them being here is amazing.
Obviously, the season hasn't gone the way we wanted it to go.
I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot. It's been a very, you could say, frustrating year, but, I'm not going to be down about it. I'm excited for the younger guys that we got in this squad. We have a very young team. I'm excited for Big Roy Miller. There's been a lot of good things that happened this year, you know what I mean? And I learned a lot about myself this year.
We're the ones that have to go out there between the lines and handle our business. So regardless of, what the naysayers are saying, it is what it is. We still have something to play for.
Now that the season is over, some of the players will get their minds and bodies ready for the next season. But you've got to have some fun, right?
I probably just travel, go overseas a little bit. I didn't get away too much last season, but I plan on getting away this season.
This gonna be my first off season really because last off season we was getting ready for the draft and things like that. So I think I'm really gonna enjoy it because you don't really have much time off, and this my first off season because in college you don't really have an off season as well because you're still training and things like that. So I don't know. I'm probably gonna go somewhere and just enjoy it with my family.
Drop my boat on the water and head out. Hang out a little bit, have some drinks, throw in a fishing line, and hopefully catch a couple fish.
Well, that's going to do it for this season of I Know Jax. Special thanks to the whole Jaguars organization for working with us this season. Enjoy the time off. We'll see you next season.
So I'm 24, I'd have been 14. Probably say cut my hair. I thought I was really cool. I had the Alabama bangs and the little swoop going on. I thought I was, real cool back then. But I'd say, Carson, cut your hair. You look like an idiot.
And my greatest fear is the ocean. A guy of my size doesn't really swim very fast in the ocean, and there's no telling what's in there.
I still remember first paycheck I got. I was able to buy my first car and gave my mom a big chunk of money.
My rookie year in Green Bay, then I found out Charles Woodson was my neighbor, who I grew up watching. That was my aha moment.
We've come a long way since the start. In the beginning, I had no idea anybody out there was watching. I sort of was just moving along, doing what I thought was fun without really thinking about all of you guys out there watching. And to this day, it still surprises me when people recognize me when I'm out and about. I'm just Joe from I Know Jax, and I love it when you guys come up to me and say hello and I get a chance to talk about what we do. But enough of me talking. Let's get on with the show. Today I'm with Chris Chislett, the wine guy, and we're going to learn something really awesome about this wine.
Yeah.
What are we going to learn?
Well, I don't know. I picked I don't know. I'm just going to make it up. Well, I picked up this bottle last night, actually. I was supposed to be drinking it at a tasting, and I didn't, so I figured I'd bring it to the show, and we'll talk about
Share
it.
with me.
Well, again, sharing is caring. There we go, yeah. That will be the new tagline for the show.
I know, sharing
I'm telling
is
you. So, yeah, this is the Champalou Vouvray. It's got a fancy French label. Vouvray. Vouvray. It's actually a place. You can go to Vouvray. So it's
an old school wine.
Very old school.
Gotcha.
Very old school, old world, whatever you want to call it.
I love it. I call it old school.
You're old school.
Because that's new school.
Yeah. But, fancy French label, saying that, I mean, fancy French label doesn't tell you anything about the wine on the front or the back.
What kind
you kind of have to know.
It?
So white wine, obviously.
Yeah.
It's actually the Chenin Blanc. Okay. Chenin Blanc, kind of loosely related
Chenin
to
Blanc for those
Chenin Blanc,
yeah.
or Chenin Blanc.
Okay.
We're not in France, so
No,
Chenin Blanc.
We're going to go there.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chenin Blanc from Champalou. I don't know if you can. Can you southernize that?
I can't.
Champalou. From Champalou, Chenin Blanc.
In Louisiana, they'd probably say it right.
Probably do.
Yeah.
Probably do. So I don't even know what we're doing anymore.
You got to talk about this wine.
Nah, whatever. Champalou, Chenin Blanc.
And it's white?
It is. So Chenin Blanc is the grape coming out of the Loire Valley, longest river in all of France, right? Yep. Okay, so Loire Valley. Chenin Blanc is really one of the main grapes to come out that region. Okay. So Chenin Blanc is very, actually not that old of a winery. It's like 1983. Which in French terms is, that is new. But in California, that's ancient. But yeah, I got it because it's, we're kind of winding down summer, but this is still sort of a good summery wine. I mean, you can go ahead and give it the swirl and the sniff and the whole. It smells like summer, doesn't it?
It does. It smells
so
like
I got
flowers.
I got the flowers, got the peach, got the apricots.
Yeah.
Don't really get much oak on the nose, so if you're looking for something crisp, refreshing, patio wine. Patio wine, drinking it by the side of the pool,
Patio wine.
Patio wine.
What are you saying?
Patio wine. Patio wine.
Got to do your Chenin Blanc in the patio.
And the patio, yeah, exactly, yeah. I was going to call it cougar juice, but I didn't want to say that on camera. But I guess I just did.
You just did.
There you go. I was actually waiting until you had some wine in your mouth and see if you can spit it on camera. Yeah, I did.
Cougar juice.
No, we're getting sued by Champollion right now. All these years of tradition.
That's good stuff.
It is, but it's not. It's one of those wines that people wouldn't normally pick out for themselves. They look at the front label, and I find Chenin Blanc really approachable, but not too many people take the time to, obviously, buy it blindly. Right. Obviously, if they don't know what the grape is, but actually taste it. And Champollion is one of the kind of really sort of one of the big mainstay, Chenin Blanc producers in the Loire Valley. So these guys have got a lot of. Won a lot of awards, got a lot of credibility behind them, but still, a lot of people, wouldn't necessarily pick this up for themselves. So,
and I'm not a white wine drinker normally, but this is nice.
Right.
And it's not too dry.
No, I'm gonna say not too dry, but not too sweet.
No,
it's kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
Finishes nice and long.
Yeah.
Food pairing wines, put it with salads, put it with fish, put seafood, or drink it by itself.
It's all for the end of summer. It'll be awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing.
No, you're sharing is caring. Absolutely.
Well,
so
cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers. Absolutely. So.
See you guys on the next Wine Guy segment.
I'm Donna Deegan. If you want to help us end breast cancer, go to breastcancermarathon.com and get involved in 26.2 with Donna.
Today I'm at Casa Marina with Chef Aaron Webb, and today we're going to make what?
We're doing a pesto rubbed 2-bone lamb rack.
Sounds cool. Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Okay.
It's super easy. Something
even I might be able
anybody can make this at home.
Cool.
We got a couple of bones. We cleaned them up. Dish only has a few ingredients in it. We're just going to sear the lamb, and over here we'll make the sauce.
Keep it simple.
That's it.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to rub with a little bit of pesto. And if you have time, you can even let this sit in the pesto overnight.
Okay, cool. So like marinated pesto? Awesome.
And just get it on there. I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper it while it's in the pan.
Okay.
We're going to let this cook about 3 minutes on both sides, and then set them aside and let them rest.
Cool. Now letting it rest does what? It just lets
the juices distribute even. You sear to seal it, and then let it rest. So when you cut into it, the juice doesn't leave.
Right.
Yeah.
You did all the hard work before we got
I
here.
did. The cleaning the bones take a long time. Yeah.
I grew up on a cattle farm, so I know a little bit about cutting meat.
Yeah.
A little more than I want to know.
Sure.
It's a kind of a gruesome thing.
I've worked on a few chicken farms as a child.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
gross, dirty work.
They're smellier, too. Don't forget, y'all up North Georgia.
Chicken country.
Aaron deglazed the pan, and then it was time for the lamb to be set aside to rest. You gotta make...
We're gonna make the sauce. It's sun-dried tomato.
In the South, we call that gravy, but they call it sauce to be fancy.
Well, if it had drippings in it, it would be more of a gravy.
Okay.
We're doing a sun-dried tomato and basil Chardonnay butter sauce.
Nice. He put a little bit of virgin olive oil in the pan. Then he added garlic, and we're going to let that brown a bit. We're adding basil and a few sun-dried tomatoes. Okay.
And you just kind of want everything to get hot.
You weren't joking when you were saying this is simple.
Super easy. Take just some house white wine, something you might have on your table.
Aaron added about half a cup of wine, and then he's letting it all reduce.
Your wine's reduced, and it looks like the sun-dried have started soaking up things and started blowing up. We just finished it with just a little bit of butter.
Just a little bit.
Well, in the South, that's a little bit of butter.
That is right. If Paulo Dean was doing it, that would be a minuscule.
Right, well, there would also be bacon.
Exactly. Aaron has put a little bit of spinach and soy sauce on the plate. The sauce goes on top, and it's ready to eat. So one of the cool things is not only do you have a great kitchen, but you got an awesome place to eat here too. This is, they call it the Penthouse, right?
Penthouse Lounge.
And it's the only place right on the beach.
Only place you can eat and see the water.
Isn't that cool?
It is cool.
Cheers, maybe we'll see you up here at the Penthouse. Thank you for watching. If you have ideas for stories that will be fun to share and you think we should do here on I Know Jax, send your suggestions to me. Just email joe@iknowjax.com or reach out to me on the I Know Jax Facebook page or via Twitter. Most of the stories we do here on the show come from suggestions from our viewers just like you. Remember to have fun and share. I'll be back next week with another episode of I Know Jax, and until then, I'll see you on the internet.